All right, so the Young Thug trial is still going on, and now they have a witness. Prosecution does. They have a witness on the stand. On the stand, which his name is Adrian Bean. Adrian Bean is on the stand. So let's see what Adrian Bean is talking about when it comes to Young Thug.
Detective David Quinn or anyone else with the Atlanta Police Department asking you at Atlanta Police Headquarters to tell them about September 11, 2013, and how you ended up with the car shown in States 156 Charlie.
No, ma'am.
Do you recall talking to Detective David Quinn or anyone else with the Atlanta Police Department about how you ended up all skinned up the way you were at that time?
No, ma'am.
Do you recall telling Detective David Quinn that on September 11, 2013, you pulled up at your spot?
No, ma'am.
Do you recall telling him that your spot was on Macon Drive?
No, ma'am.
Do you recall telling Detective David Quinn that he probably saw a black Camry at your spot?
No, ma'am.
Do you recall telling him that you couldn't remember the address of the spot because you had two spots?
No, ma'am.
Listen, Adrian Bean standing on business. Oh, Adrian Bean is standing on business. Adrian Bean is standing on big business. Adrian Bean is standing on business. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Do you recall telling Detective David Quinn or any other detective with APD that one of the spots that's across the street would be 2246 Macon, and that you think the other one is 2323 Macon?
I don't recall having any conversations with a Detective Quinn.
Do you recall having any knowledge that your wife met any police detective at 2233 Macon Drive in Atlanta on September 11, 2013?
No, ma'am.
Do you recall telling anybody with the Atlanta Police Department that you pulled in at 2233 Macon Drive on September the 11th, 2013?
No, ma'am.
Do you recall telling anyone that after you pulled in, you parked?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Do you recall telling anyone at APD in September 2013 that 15, 20, or 30 minutes after you parked, Brian pull up?
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Do you recall telling anyone that Brian called you and said he needed to holler at you about some things?
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Do you recall telling anyone at APD that Brian then pulled up?
No, ma'am.
Do you recall mentioning at that point this guy, Young Thug?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So for all you young thugs out there, this is a prime example of if you ever so much as get caught up in this type of situation where, because trust me, he didn't want to be there. This is obvious. He didn't want to be on this. But it's obvious that the prosecution probably just subpoenaed him to be there. And if you know anything about being subpoenaed to testify, if you don't show up, that is and you'll be held in contempt, which means you'll get a warrant out for your arrest and you'll be locked up for however long the judge feel like. Now, with that being said, he is basically standing on business and he don't remember nothing. He don't recall nothing. However long it happened, or even if it ever happened, he don't know if it happened or not. He don't remember. And that's exactly how you're supposed to handle the case. As a matter of fact, Adrian Bean, you need to run for district attorney. Because apparently Fonnie Willis needs some lessons from you because she don't know what she doing. Because this is exactly what Fannie Willis should have been done, and I believe this may be the same courtroom. I don't know. Is this the same courtroom? No, it's not the same courtroom. But they all look alike. It's the same building for sure.
Do you recall telling anyone at APD that you and Brian just shot the shit for a minute?
No, ma'am.
Wait, did she just ask him if they just shot the shit for a minute? Like, I mean, even if I did do that, I definitely wouldn't repeat it in no courtroom. This is a terrible prosecution team. This is terrible on the Young Thug case. It's a terrible, terrible prosecution team. You're talking to somebody who's been in and out of the system since he was 9 years old. I'm a model citizen now. I'm a civilian, so I don't get in no trouble. I haven't even been pulled over for a traffic ticket in probably 9 years. But when I used to get in trouble, in and out of trouble, like I knew when I was dealing with a prosecutor that was a beast, or if I had a attorney that was garbage, or a public defender that was garbage, and I needed to replace them, fire them, and get it. I knew how to do all that since I was 9 years old, in and out of the system, in and out of the system. And I know what I'm listening to right here with this prosecutor. She's trash. This is an easy. This should be an easy win for Thug. You know, if he don't beat all the charges, he should beat like the majority of them. If you know, the majority of the major ones, especially.
Do you recall telling Detective David Quinn or anyone else that you asked Brian to come chop it up with you, and the guy, Young Thug, rolled up and said, "Hey man, I just seen a dude with about $33,000 on him." You know what I'm saying?
No, ma'am.
Basis.
She winging, she fishing now. You can tell when he laughed. He look. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch it. Watch his
Rolled
expression.
up and said, "Hey man, I just seen a dude with about $33,000 on him." You know what I'm saying?
Look at him. He like what? Like nigga, don't know. Man, listen. I grew up in the hood, and I ain't gonna lie. I've probably been in similar situations that she's explaining, but that ain't how it happens. You just don't roll up to a group of people and be like, "Hey man, I just seen a dude there, $20,000, $30,000." Because first of all, you probably don't know who you're talking about. You gotta be careful when you're doing that. Because anybody that's walking around with $20,000, $30,000 on them and they ain't afraid of you, then they might be somebody, and you don't need to be repeating that like that. Second, even if you did want to do something to that person, which I'm assuming that's what she's trying to get at, that they was planning to do something to the person, maybe take it from them or whatever. You know, that's not nothing you just pull up and yell. You know, you need to, you pull your crew that you already got together, which he's already established he don't even know. You pull your crew together and then y'all quietly plan it out or whatever. But I don't know. I just heard these things. Anyway, keep moving.
Saying?
No, ma'am.
Basis.
I am not refreshing recollection, Your Honor.
I'll rule the objection, sir.
Do you recall Detective David Quinn asking you, who are you talking about? Who's Young Thug?
No, ma'am.
Do you recall Detective David Quinn asking you, wait a minute, who is it that you said told you about seeing a dude with $22,000 or $33,000 on him?
No, ma'am.
Do you recall telling Detective David Quinn again, more than one?
Okay, so I already know where this is going. This is going straight to no ma'am. So, Adrian Bean. Uh, Adrian Bean is currently on the stand, and he was called by the prosecution, obviously, to try to make Thug seem guilty about whatever situation that they're speaking on. And to be honest with you, the prosecution is doing a terrible job. I don't know where these Atlanta prosecutors are getting trained out. They're getting trained on the Fannie Willis. Huh. There you have it. Anyway, Adrian Green, standing on business. This is the Leylo Show, man. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification button. And if you can, donate to me. Cash App link is in the, or the Cash App hashtag or whatever you want to call it. It's in the ticker right below. I'm trying to get me a new mic so I can bring you this content on a regular basis, on a daily basis. This is election year, so I got a lot of content that I need to be putting out, and there's other things we're going to talk about when it comes to current events. So donate to the Leylo Show. If not, it's cool. Just like, subscribe, and hit the notification button, and I'm cool with that. With that being said, it's the Leylo Show. It's up. Moving on. All right. Moving on.